it came up when he was talking to Garibaldi, and it seemed like it came out of the blue, right?
Right.
Him snapping at him.
Well, I don't think so, because when he's having the discussion with Maynard in his quarters, and Maynard mentions, "Hey, this isn't what you trade for. I'm surprised you took the job." You could really see it hit Sheridan pretty hard.
He
That
was being
realization.
goaded a little bit.
Yes, I'm saying it came up in this episode. We really didn't see it
Yeah. Okay.
before
Okay.
this.
Yeah. I don't think he was very fair to Garibaldi at all.
No, I agree that it seemed weird because Sheridan, again, what we've seen from him is like, oh, he's pretty good with people,
Yeah.
and then suddenly he's like, you don't bother me with your
He's
crap.
snapping at Garibaldi, snapping at Ivanova.
Yeah, and I mean, and usually, if I'm not mistaken, I would think this is something that Sheridan would want to be updated about, like the goings on, the criminal aspect from your chiefs of security.
Right, and Garibaldi even said, he's like, I thought you wanted to know about this stuff,
Right.
So yeah, he was out of line for that.
And Garibaldi's just back now for what, one episode?
Yeah.
And in fact, to that end, I watched a little. On the first DVD for the season, there's a little thing about this season, and one of the things that they're interviewing some of the different cast members. Susan talks about having broken her foot, which she's still hobbling around, by the way, in this episode.
Yes. Yep.
And that's for real. She really did break her foot. Garibaldi said his favorite episode of the entire show was episode 1 of season 2, because he was in a coma the whole show. He didn't have to work.
He got paid
and he got paid the regular rate.
So, if I remember the bloopers, he actually falls asleep and snores, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen the bloopers. They have great bloopers for these seasons. They are awesome. They're on YouTube. I highly suggest looking them up. They are freaking hilarious.
But at any rate, but back to the main point. The way that he snapped at Garibaldi and Susan, and just kind of, it's like he turned on a dime a little too much. And I get him second guessing himself, but I think it was just a little overdone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And I think that Maynard is pushing a little bit hard, a little too hard as well. I mean,
right.
Look, Sheridan's got.
Ribbing is one thing.
The most important position in
Earth Force,
in Earth Force,
or in the entire galaxy,
of his rank. I mean, it's important to be on a survey ship, but the amount of people that Maynard has to deal with on his survey ship is minuscule compared to the staff
and all the races and
350. Yeah, there's 350 people crew on Explorer class.
Sheridan's got he is going. He's going to become an admiral at this. If he does this job right. This is a plum position. He's got so much some freedom to operate, and he's dealing with so much higher levels. He's on his way to a higher rank for sure.
It's almost
this kind of posting.
To me, it's like the difference between the captain of an aircraft carrier and the person that's immediately responsible for a major port base.
That is exactly how he describes it. When he's having that conversation with Susan, he says, "I was trained to be a captain of a ship. And this is almost like a governor of a colony, almost."
But
something like that.
But that's not. It's more like
it's more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than a port. It's a port.
Because
he's got all this diplomatic people. It's all this. It's like much more important.
Like a military base / United Nations, which is It's how that's how Straczynski came up with the idea of the United Nations in space. He said, "I was taking a shower one day and this thought came to me."
So I don't think they're meaning to do this, but I almost felt like Maynard was trying to sabotage him in a way, and I don't think that's what they're going for. I think they're just overplaying it. But it just seems like, why would you say like this is the plum? That he's gonna go. He's gonna. His career is. He's
gonna jump you.
Yeah,
because of this.
Easy because of this posting. So why would you be telling him that? Right.
I think Maynard, it was that best friend jabbing. We see it, And I think at times he went too far.
He overplayed
it. Didn't seem, it seemed more serious than just joking, though. I think that's the writers not understanding,
ribbing versus
Well,
no, that like how like Sheridan has the best position for a captain in all of Earth Force, likely.
Right.
The performance for Maynard wasn't the greatest either.
Well, I didn't mind his performance. I want to talk about that, but I didn't mind his performance on Babylon 5. But I got other
when he was on the ship
on the ship.
Cortez,
it was horrible.
He was a little
You guys noticed that too.
Yeah, it was like is the second. This is clearly second unit, right?
Especially we're going to that. Especially the first time wasn't great, but like the last time where they're talking about trying to get out of hyperspace,
blew up,
like that was really bad. Like when they're trying, we'll just send it. What should we do? Like I'm like, wow, these guys don't like that was really bad.
Kay Roberts has a good point in chat. They say B5 is politically important to EarthGov, but to the military subculture, it's double duty doing the diplomatic corps job.
Sure.
Because he says it. I'm playing ambassador. I'm babysitting these ambassadors.
Yeah, but the thing is that what the military would still understand, like people would all say, oh yeah, it's military, it's not pure, but Sheridan is going to get promoted over all those other guys because who decides who gets to be an admiral? It's the politicians, and they're going to like Sheridan. He did a good job there. They're going to understand him. Politicians consider politics much more important than military stuff. Mm-hmm. He's going to get promoted way before the rest of his buddies.
Yeah, it's also a little bit of that same thing we saw through season 1, where it's like exactly what's the setup here, and who has what power and everything. It's a little better this season, but that still kind of lingers in the background of the whole setting.
Well, yeah, when Sinclair deals with the dock worker strike the way he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That politician, she calls him and says, "You haven't made any friends today, Commander."
Yeah.
And
I agree with Kay Roberts here. I mean, the military guys are going to complain about it, and it is reasonable for Sheridan to sort of go, "Oh man, I wish I didn't have to deal with these BS diplomats all the time," and here for him to complain about it. But then he still would recognize
to do that.
He would still recognize that this is a plum job, and I'm going to get promoted out of it.